My first guest is one of television's most popular personalities. Please welcome Merv Griffin.
To lovely bunch of coconuts, there they are standing in the well. Big ones, small ones, some as big as your head.
Okay, the pressure's on, David.
Yeah, I know, it's tough.
Interview me.
I've been on your show a couple of times,
Yeah.
and I'm just starting out here. Some say I'm also finishing up. But
No, never. You help my Wheel of Fortune.
Is that right?
That's mine, you know.
How so?
Because you're so hot in the morning that it carries through Wheel of Fortune.
Is that true,
Yeah.
Merv?
Yep.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
I like your furniture, too. It's really nice.
Let me ask you here. You do a lot of these shows. You have been on the air
Yours is the only one I have.
No, I don't mean that. Your own show, continually now,
Yes.
for a long time. And I said in the beginning of the show, there's only a handful of people who not only sustain in television, but dominate and influence and become fixtures. And I think you got to be a very bright individual and a very resourceful individual to do that. But in the long haul, what happens on a show and you know you're in trouble?
You let it happen.
I know, but
I
what...
mean, you just let it happen, and then you sit back like this and let it collapse.
Yeah?
Then you say, we'll be right back.
What
That's
makes...
my tombstone, you know.
Yeah.
I got it figured out.
What makes...
I will not be right back after this message. Do you like that?
What for you makes a real good guest?
Probably a big mouth. Somebody who will just say everything out loud and not running a popularity contest anymore, just having fun, you know.
So you like somebody who sit down and just take off?
Yeah. Am I doing it?
Yeah.
Oh. I want to be a good guest.
You are.
This could be a whole new career for me.
Being a guest?
Merv, guest.
Yeah, it don't pay as well as the other way around,
You're
I
kidding.
found. No.
I watch you every morning. Do you know that in California?
I know it in most of the states.
Yeah.
Your Honor. Now let me ask you about your. You said, yeah.
Oh, I thought you left.
No, I'm thinking here.
Uh-huh.
Tell
So
me.
you have to lock eyes with me. You have to do that to get the best story out. Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh heavens! I feel.
There has to be an intensity to the interview. Don't look away.
It's tough to see my notes when I'm locked on your eyes. Now, tell me about Judy Garland.
Judy Garland. Well, that's a part of the book. Judy Garland probably was, from the time I was a kid, I mean, we're about the same age, I just loved her. I mean, I just thought she was the greatest. I could cry at her movies. You know, the time Gene Kelly slammed his hand in the trunk to keep from going to war, that kind of thing got me. Anyway, I just followed her whole career. Are you interested, David?
Yeah.
Okay. And I just loved her all my life. I just thought she was the greatest superstar, most thrilling performer I ever saw in my life. I met her later in her career. And she had called me one day here in New York. She'd had a bit of a problem, and she was in the hospital, and said she would like to make a big return, come back and do her stuff, and her life was straightened out. So she said, I'd love to do your show. Well, I mean, I was ecstatic. So I said, okay, and we arranged everything. She came down from Boston, middle of the night, took a train down, checked into a large and famous hotel here at 11 o'clock at night, and the night manager looked at her and said, you're not checking in here, you owe us money, and threw her out in the street. She had to borrow money from somebody in the street, take a subway to Brooklyn, stay with friends, call me the next day. I felt terrible for her. I mean, it was one of the greatest superstars we ever knew in this country. And so we called clothes people, we called everybody to do her arrangements. She didn't have a thing. Put her on the show, and she was wonderful. It was her last show before she moved to England and died. It's a very sad story, and kind of a lesson to everybody.
At the time, was that pretty well hushed up, or did people understand the circumstances that she was living under?
Oh, I think they did, yeah. I mean, she really had a tragic life.
Yeah. Do you know what that means?
That Frank's playing the piano.
No.
What?
We'll be right back. Don't tell Merv. is here, and it's a fascinating book. And let me tell you what I'm fascinated by, and I mentioned this earlier. Just a handful of people survive in television.
Yeah.
Johnny Carson, Dick Clark, yourself, Walter Cronkite. These people are institutions in American TV. Now, how do you sustain? I've been hammering away here for 3 months, and I feel like I've been doing hard time somewhere.
Yeah. But everybody feels that way. You propel your career really through failure. I mean, for example, I did talk shows in the daytime, and they failed, and I thought, well, that's the end of it. I mean, my whole career's over. But oddly enough, is what it does is it brings you... There are only 400 people in show business who have to know who you are. And once those 400 know who you are, then they move you on to something else. It's the Peter principle. You start, you fail here, but they move you on to a better time period, and they move you on to something else. A lot of people, out of failure, pull back. They withdraw from it and say, oh, well, I'm a disaster in that. And I never did that. Yeah. I mean, I was the greatest tax write-off in show business. For networks, recording companies, they'd say, we need another tax write-off, sign him, right? One failure write-off. My whole life is out right in that hallway. My whole career in show business, here on the 6th floor. I started across the street, across the hall here, at 6B, with Play Your Hunch. Then I did Word for Word, 1 in a Million, How's Your Sister? Kiss Your Brother, all those things. And they all collapsed around me, but it was great. Makes your mind better.
You know, when I was looking through this book, the amount of people, and not just people, but quality people that you've had on your show, and not only had, but helped, like you were talking about Judy Garland. I read an article about Richard Pryor the other day.
Yeah.
And I believe he started on your show.
We found him at Cafe La Mama in the Village. Woody was the first. Woody Allen was the first person we ever put on that we discovered. And I had him under contract to come on the show every Friday. And I released him from that contract.
Was he a little nervous about coming on?
Oh, no. No, he was just wonderful.
Why'd you let him go?
Well, because my show was canceled.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't want him eating at my house, and I had no income.
That's silly. Sure, you don't...
And then following Woody Allen came Richard Pryor and George Carlin, and then Lily Tomlin, and then John Denver, and then Seals and Crofts.
How many people do you think, different major stars have you...
That are operating today?
Yeah, that you've...
About 30, including Burt Reynolds, who started with me from the very beginning.
Unbelievable. Again, and forgive me, but we'll be right back.
I will...
Merv Griffin is here this morning. This book is a fascinating chronicle of not only your life, of course, but just television and growing up and stuff. And you wanted to talk a little bit about you had a daytime talk show.
Yeah. Well, see, I was doing a show here called Play Your Hunch. It was right across the hall, 6B.
X, Y, and Z.
Yeah. Jack Parr was the biggest talk show host in the business, and the only. He had no competition. And consequently, when he did something extravagant on his show, it made the front pages of the paper, not the television section. He would do something, he'd cry, or fight with Ed Sullivan or something on the front page. Now, nobody could get him as a guest. He didn't know that I was using his studio in the morning to do a show, because he didn't come in until 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So we were doing around 10 o'clock in the morning, and it was one of those moments when I'd say to the contestants, think it over, and they'd go. So there was silence in the room. Now, he had come in early for a dentist appointment and decided he would walk from his office on the 7th floor down through the studio. He walked through. There was nobody backstage. We didn't have guest stars. And he walked through the curtain. And we were on the air live. And he looked, and people were thinking it over. That was my first ad lib, David. And I looked at him and said, what are you doing here? And he looked at me and said, what are you doing here? This is my studio. And I said, we are on the air. There's a major show. And he jumped. And he left. He did a couple of funny things. He left, and he called his agent and said, who's that? So they told him, and he said, he can take over on a Monday night. Let him, because he was quitting the show anyway. He didn't care what happened on Monday nights. So I went in on a Monday night, and the whole staff took the night off, except for one guy who had to stay and produce the show. Now I went out and did my monologue. I didn't know whether the audience laughed. I didn't see them. I didn't do anything. I was absolutely fainting on the spot. And I did the monologue, and I introduced my agent in the monologue. I said, I know you people don't know who I am. Here's my agent, and he will tell you. But now, see, it was Al Kelly, the double talker, and they didn't know who he was out. He came out and he said, Merv is a wonderful guy, and he started in Afghanistan, and and the whole audience went, and they started to laugh, you see. Then I let him have the show, and I said, "Oh, we'll be back," you know, and I left and went off the stage, and this kid was standing there, Bob Shanks, who was producer, and I said, I don't know how to do your show, and I have to go home. And he said, I swear to you, it's in the book. I said, I have to go home right now. I cannot. He said, Merv, there's 85 minutes to go. I said, you have to get somebody else. Dagmar's over there. They can do it. Or she can do it. And so, guys are vicious, right? And so I said, well, let her do it. I really have to go home. He literally pushed me onto the stage again. And in all of this frantic, not knowing what to do thing was very funny to the audience. No guests would come on with me. Nobody would. No stars. So my first guest, I said, here's a lady psychologist from Kentucky, and she is a brilliant lady, and out came this nice lady with a big hat on, and she talked about psychology, relating it to pipes, that you have a fear pipe, a love pipe, a wonder pipe, and another pipe. I thought, this is the Tonight Show? And the point of her argument was that you would be all right in life if you kept your pipes clean.
Merv Griffin, the book is called Merv. Thank you very much, Merv. I love being here with you. We'll be right back.
Hi there. Welcome back to the show, ladies and gentlemen. Captain Beefheart is here tonight, also Mr. Marv Albert, and my first guest is an entrepreneur, TV host, singer, and author. His new book is called From Where I Sit, Merv Griffin's Book of People. Please welcome Merv Griffin.
Thank you. You're wrong. The quote of the week was not the quote you gave. The quote of the week on this show was from Brooke Shields, who said, I get $10 a week at allowance.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Huh?
Yeah, I'm sure you.
Because I get 12.
Before. No, you get a little more than 12, don't you?
A little more, yeah.
It's nice to see you. Thank you very much for being here.
Thank you for inviting me, David. It's always a pleasure to work with you.
Now, how do you get time off? You're doing your show in California?
Right.
How can you be here?
Tape ahead.
Oh, do you get to tape
Not
ahead?
live. Tape ahead.
Several weeks, months?
No. We can't get that far. But tape about a week ahead and then roar around. I've been in Cleveland, Chicago, Philadelphia. Nice to visit the country.
Yeah.
But to come back here, those halls, the same people are out there.
Yeah,
The same people are there. I started right across the hall in 1958. And there's still the same guys there.
Now, what show were you doing over
And
there?
I fired a lot of them.
What show was across the hall?
Play your hunch. Is it X? Is it Y?
Yeah.
Is it Z?
Now, how long is this? Is interesting because that show has been off the air for, what?
30 years.
No, 30 years.
You have an old audience up there.
How long
No,
has it
since
been?
It started in 1958 on NBC.
Yeah.
And went till about 1962. And then I came from the same studio when I replaced Jack Parr, on The Tonight Show. And then when they gave me my own talk show, I came from the same studio. So life was right across the street there.
Yeah, that's, I can remember Play Your Hunch vividly, as apparently the audience can also.
Yeah.
And, well, no, they...
And I still have a game show on NBC.
Oh, I know. I see, every time you mention this, I have to point out that Merv Griffin owns everything.
No,
No, he does. Yes, sir.
No.
Big, tall stacks of show business money delivered to his house hourly. Just big, thick stacks of it.
No, Wheel of Fortune, and of course Dance Fever.
Dance Fever, which was one of the most...
Why are you laughing at Dance Fever?
Well,
They're not going to get on my show.
Have you ever been on... Have you yourself been on Dance Fever? See, now you're laughing.
Huh?
You're laughing at your own show.
Oh, I'm not laughing at my own show. But everybody laughed at that show when it started, and it's in its 5th season, and it's #1 in syndication.
Yeah. Big, tall stacks of show business money. Anyway, the question I was going to get around to asking you sooner or later, do you ever tire of this? I mean, people come out and sit down and you think, I don't much care what they have to say. Does that ever happen to you?
You're not trying to tell me something...
No.
That's on your mind right now.
No.
No, that has never happened, but that's the nightmare of every, I'm sure, talk show host. Don't you sometimes dream that you're going to wake up the next morning and say, I have nothing else to say to anybody? And then that's it? See, that happened to Parr.
Really?
Jack Parr told me it's in the book, told me that he woke up one morning and said, there's nobody left to talk to. And he has stayed home ever since and plays tennis, has a glass of champagne. And I called him about 2 years ago and said, Jack, come on my show. And he said, no, Merv, no more television. I am waiting for the next great event in my life. And I said, ooh, what is it, Jack? He said, my death.
Wow. So
you're not going to go that far.
So at least Jack has retained his optimism.
Yes.
Wow.
But he was always the most interesting. To me, he was...
You actually took a lot of your style from him, or learned from him, yeah.
Sure, Jack Parr. He had a wonderful paranoia that I loved. I remember one time I was on his show, and he didn't know anybody. I don't think he ever looked at the band. Oh, I wouldn't either.
These are just jokes.
Yeah, no, I was only kidding, guys. No, I was only kidding.
It's okay, I wasn't.
Yeah. Anyway, we were walking down the hall right out here, and he looked, he said, pal, you see that guy over there? He has been hanging around the studio for 4 days. And I looked over, I said, Jack, that's your tenor sax player, who had been there 4 years, right?
Yeah. And then, well, Mr. Gurney, our director,
was the
also,
director.
Yeah.
And I think Hal will concur. Jack used to do the monologue every night by putting it into his head. No cue cards, no nothing. He was proud. They did 8 minutes alone. But what he would do was he'd come from his office about a minute before the show, and he would go into a little room by the stage entrance, and he would stand in there, and then Hugh Down say, and now here's Jack, and he would come roaring out of this room and go on stage. And I asked him why he did that. He said, well, because, pal, the monologue was in my head, you see. And one night it happened to me. The great Susie Parker, the model, was standing there, and I said, hello, Susie, how are you? She said, getting a divorce. He said, oh, what about the children? She said, I don't know yet. And he said, here's Jack, and he went out, and he didn't remember anything.
Yeah.
So he acted inebriated. He acted drunk. And that started a whole
Isn't that
funny
amazing?
chain.
That's,
Yeah.
I mean, because coming out on a live television show and covering this by acting drunk is not necessarily a, you know what I mean? It could have backfired on the guy.
You're ruining the story in my book, pal.
No, did I ruin the story in the book?
No.
Well, that's just one of many. Look at how thick this boy is. You've got many, many fine stories here, Merv. Don't you worry. So I ruin a story or two. You got plenty in there. We'll be right back with Merv Griffin. Merv Griffin is here, and we're talking about things out of the book.
I could get
Merv
them on
Griffin's
Dance
People.
Fever. Yeah. What a crowd.
Now, you've interviewed most everybody in the world, really, haven't you? Anybody who's...
Well, except those folks who will not come on a talk show, you know.
Give me that list.
Streisand.
Really? No, she won't come on?
No. Pope John Paul II will not come on. Robert Redford will not come on. Cary Grant will not come on.
Now, how do you know that? Have you actually phoned them, or is it...
Begged them.
Really?
Waited outside their door.
Well, who were you most surprised by that did come on?
That
That you were able to get somebody, you know... Well,
Yes, just recently hasn't played. Are you ready for a biggie?
Well, now, will this ruin another story?
No, this is not going to ruin another story.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to just say it out once.
All right, this
and
will
let
be
it.
a teaser.
Prince Charles.
No. Did we call him? Really?
That's a biggie.
No, that is...
That is
yeah.
a biggie.
Yeah, that's...
Right.
How about Captain Beefheart?
Captain Beefheart.
No,
I asked him to loan me his hat to come out. Wouldn't do it.
In the book, you talk about many, many people. Jack Benny. Tell me about Jack Benny.
Did you know him?
No, ma'am. No, sir. No, ma'am.
Well,
I don't know what that means exactly.
Jack Benny had to be the sweetest, nicest man. But as he said in his interview, I have never been funny. I am a great reactor. I am funny when I'm a reactor. But I am not. He said, you see, I allow everybody to steal my show. And if they stop stealing it, then I don't want them on the show. Because the show's in my name, and the next day everybody says, hey, your show was good, Jack. But I want Mery to steal it, Dennis to steal it, all of them. And he was really serious about it. He was a great reactor. His stories with George Burns are legendary, and the one he told me, I mean, they used to just do terrible things, like at the command performance, just as the Queen would get to them, George Burns would lean over and say, "Now, Jack, don't laugh." Well, that's all you had to say to Jack Benny, because he was a great audience. Yeah. He would just scream. One night, Jeanette MacDonald got up at a party and decided to sing, and he said, "Now, Jack, it would be very bad if you laughed." And they had to carry him out of the place. One night, he was leaving for London. He was going to play a big engagement at the Palladium, and he asked George Burns to fly over and see it. And George said, "I'm not going all the way to England to see you." So Jack went off. He opened the Palladium. George Burns got a ticket, flew to London, sat in the front row. And Jack Benny came out and did his show and everything. At the end of the show, George Burns got up, went to the airport, and flew back to L.A. And Jack Benny went around London for 3 days saying, "Well, I saw him in the front row. I know he was here." Everybody said, "We didn't see him. He's not here."
That's great. Who was, let's talk about the comics that have, your show has always had a real open door policy for new,
Finding
good
you.
comics, yeah.
And the only one I wish we had found was you.
No.
I can't claim you.
No, well,
We've done many shows together.
and you and your staff have always been very nice to me. I can remember one episode a couple times. I can't tell that now, though.
That we weren't nice?
No, you were nice, but I said something awful about Barbra Streisand, and the audience nearly vacated. They just, anyway, it'll be in the book.
That's
Don't
why
worry.
she won't come on my
That's
show.
it.
Anyway, from the beginning, yeah.
The real big guys.
The Woody Allen was the first fellow we discovered who was a writer here. And then he was under contract to my show here on NBC and came on every Friday. Richard Pryor was the next one we found. George Carlin.
You had Richard Pryor on
the first time.
The first time, and then also after he started his evolution to what he is now, you were the first to have him on again, weren't you?
Yeah, but when I look at the tapes now, and I have all of his original appearances, maybe 30 of them, you just see this innocent, sweet little kid, you know, who came out and did innocent comedy, but the audience laughed. And where it all changed, I don't know, unless you started reading the graffiti, you know, in the subway. But George Carlin was the most interesting.
All right, this is a good story. Let me interrupt you here, because we got to go away for station identification. We'll finish it up.
Story.
Oh, yeah, we're coming back for it. Don't worry.
Yeah, because it really is good.
He's panicking here. We'll be right back after station identification. Thank you very much, Paul. Welcome back to the show. Let me mention Captain Beefheart will be joining us later in this half hour, and Monday. It's going to be interesting. It says here, Mel Blanc, man of 1,000 voices, of course.
Great.
Now it gets a little strange. Comedian Bill Mery.
Piggy.
And Hunter Thompson. Well, that'll be interesting. I may be here for that one. Let me, I'm sorry, you started to tell the story
of finding George Carlin. He was a disc jockey when we found him in Boston. And he was on a small station up there, but the station did carry Cardinal Cushing. Do you remember the powerful Cardinal of Boston who used to say the Rosary every night on radio? And one night the Rosary ran a little long. And George Carlin was on there, and came the moment he had to press the button to either do a commercial or the station identification, and he thought, what'll I do? So he thought, well, the station's in the business of making money, so he pressed the button and cut off the Cardinal. Ooh. Okay. He went on with the next show, a music show, and the phone rang about 5 minutes. And a voice said, "Who was it that cut off the word of God?" And George said, Your Eminence, I did it. "Well, we'll see about this." And he hung up the phone, left the studio, went home, packed his bag, and left Boston. He knew that was the end of his career.
What about people from the area of motion pictures? Again, you've had most everybody.
Yeah, I would think so. The most fascinating I find still is Orson Welles. I mean, that he is a giant of a man. I don't mean that. He is a giant of a man. He's said some amazing things on our show. For example, talking about films one time, he said to me, I don't think any great performances have ever been given in color. And I said, that's kind of an amazing statement, Orson. He said, well, I think, he said, like radio, people bring their imagination to radio and imagine what the people look like. He said, I think it's the same thing in film. In color, everything is right there in front of you. He said, you don't have to use your imagination. Just sit back and it's all there. He said, black and white films, he said, the great performances. So I'm on a campaign now to eliminate color from television and film. You like it?
I don't know. I can see some truth to what he's saying. But
Betty Davis said the same thing in the book. She said it's very hard to do a dramatic scene in color because the pictures are too pretty.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. My own, for me it would ruin, like, cartoons would be nothing. There would be no point in me getting up on a Saturday morning if they were black and white, so...
Well, then but my generation saw nothing but cartoons in black and white.
That's right.
And we brought our imagination.
There's something about those early cartoons that I used to see on early television that were actually frightening. They were off-putting. They weren't amusing. They weren't interesting. They were interesting, but they were kind of... when all of the... well, say, for instance, the musical instruments would start marching around and they would go into the bedroom and kill the child or something awful. It was not funny stuff.
This was your childhood?
Yeah. Of the people...
Too much cough syrup there, pal.
Of the folks that you've had on the show, do you ever have people, of course you do, come out, sit down, everything looks great on paper.
Yeah.
As soon as they hit the chair,
Dry
they freeze or dry
mouth.
up or...
Ticks.
Yeah.
Huh? Do you get a lot of those ticks? The audience usually can't see them because if you sit on this side, only the host can see the left side of your mouth. But we get an awful lot of... And you can't stop them, And you head for the water back here and dry mouth. Does that bother them?
Yeah. Do you know, does somebody stick out in your mind as being a great potential guest, but turns out to be very shy?
Well, you're going to get me to name names,
Well,
right?
why not? What the heck? You did in the book, right? It's in the book.
There are no dry mouths in the book, no.
Who is reluctant to talk, who has been on your show? Just very
Andy
shy.
Warhol. True. Andy Warhol came on my show with a greatest prepared interview, and boy, I was ready, because we used all of his stable of players, Ultraviolet and all the gang. And he came on my show, and 1 minute before air, the producer came in looking shocked and said, Andy has refused to talk. And I said, you mean he's off the show? He said, no, he will not talk on the show. You'll have to ask him questions, and he will nod yes or no.
Well, did you slap him? That's silly.
You would have, wouldn't you?
Oh, sure, you got to.
Slap a guy around?
Rough him up a little.
Rough him up a little.
Now, what did you do?
Just went on with the interview, and then the camera would go to him, and he'd go. It was interesting. I mean, how can you go wrong, right?
Well, true.
A famous face sitting there going,
Yeah.
like a petulant little kid that wouldn't talk.
Yeah. Do you know how many shows you've taped?
No. But it's between 6,000 and 7,000.
Good heavens. Good heavens.
And all wiped.
Yeah. They're gone, most of them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They wipe our lives away.
We know a lot about you, Merv, as the host of the show, a singer, author, so on and so forth, storyteller, broadcast pioneer. What people probably don't know much about is Merv Griffin, the sandwich. Hang on, we've done a little research.
The sandwich.
That's right. Watch the monitors, and we're going to a popular New York City delicatessen now. Merv Griffin, the sandwich. Merv Griffin. Well, what can you say about Merv? We all know him as a entertainer, talk show host, a singer. But we came to the Stars Delicatessen, where, as you can see, activity is at a fever pitch to get a different portrait of Merv Griffin. Bill? Excuse me.
Yes.
This is Bill Parker. Bill, can you make a Merv Griffin for us?
Oh, sure. No problem at all.
Okay. As you do that, tell us the ingredients of the Merv Griffin, if you will.
Well, I'll tell it to you and I'll make you one while we're talking.
Okay, he's going to make us a Merv Griffin.
Start with some terrific rye bread.
Rye bread, and that,
Plenty
of
of
course,
sesame
is
seeds.
symbolic of Merv's wry sense of humor, I guess.
Well, sort of.
Sort of.
Some nice white breast of turkey.
Turkey. I think we know what that reference is about.
Fresh ripe tomatoes.
Fresh, ripe tomatoes.
Another slice of rye
Another
bread.
slice of rye bread.
Some fresh, juicy brisket.
Brisket. Now, what about the brisket? What in Merv represents the brisket?
Well, as I say, there's nothing in this sandwich that represents any of his personality, just his taste buds.
I see. Okay.
And sort of a coup de grace. We had a
onion.
nice slice of onion that
Yes.
puts a little zing to the sandwich.
Zing
And we
for
top
Merv.
it off some Russian dressing.
Russian.
Has nothing to do with his ethical background.
He's not of Russian origin, as far as you know.
Not that I know of. I think he's a little on the Irish side.
Might be Irish, okay.
And here you have one of our famous Merv Griffin sandwiches.
A couple of colorful toothpicks
And
to
that's
top it off.
almost good enough to eat.
Merv Griffin, thank you very much.
My pleasure.
I love it. That's great.
You ever had one of those?
Never.
Look pretty good.
Yeah, are they good?
Yeah, they make darn good food over there. Pretty
You went
tasty
to
stuff.
great expense and difficulty
Yeah.
to show that sandwich.
That's right.
I'm
That's right.
honored.
Oh, well, I don't know if honored is the correct term. As long as you're not
The turkey
steamed.
threw me off
yeah,
a little.
That was
I've always thought I was pumpernickel, not
But you know,
rye.
I have to say something. You don't look like you have eaten anything like that in quite a while.
Do you like it?
Oh, you've slimmed down.
35 pounds.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah, you look good.
It's a pleasure to show the new body on the David Letterman show.
Well, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure for us to have you here.
Thank you.
I want to just settle something once and for all.
Why don't you have
It is
have
$10, and I'm here to collect.
Oh,
Would you,
my. Oh, my.
Would you accept 20 and stay a little longer?
Sure.
Hiya, Brooke.
How are you?
Oh, I'm great.
Hi, Brooke. How are you?
Has your day been a little better?
Well, yeah, you're nice to see you here.
Thank you.
Gee, what a
Nice to be here.
surprise, huh?
Surprise for me too.
Yeah,
It's in
well,
the neighborhood.
You're just in the.
dropped by.
Now you're out of breath.
Yes, I ran to this neighborhood.
Well, gee, it's gosh. Well, you look good. She looks good. Don't
She
you?
looks good, yeah.
You know how old this woman is?
She's 17.
Yeah. She's
I went to
17.
her 16th birthday
Yes,
party.
you did.
I did.
Now, see, that's what I was talking about the other night. Who in America has Merv Griffin to their 16th birthday party? You know?
And come out of the cake. With a diaper.
Are you going to be able to stay, Brooke?
Sure, I can stay as long as you want.
I don't know. All hell is broken loose here. Well, of course you're here with Captain Beefheart. Wait a minute. We're going to pause. I guess we're going to pause. Who knows what we're going to do, but we'll continue doing it. Well, sad news in the world of television. I guess we all read about this morning with our morning newspaper and coffee. Yesterday in Hollywood, California, which is actually located in Los Angeles, Merv Griffin, a wonderfully successful entertainer in television. The man is quite wealthy, owns millions and millions of dollars of things. I'm not sure. I don't know exactly what his portfolio contained, but let's just say millions and millions of dollars of things. Anyway, Merv Griffin, who's been on the air for, 20, 25, 30 years, whatever, taped his final television show yesterday. Yeah. And I'm sure Merv would have been touched. And so today, I come to work and I get this registered letter in the mail, and it turns out that Johnny Carson and I now get custody of the Gabor sisters. So you see... If I wanted tension, I could have filled this place with my relatives. You know what I'm saying? Just about 24 hours from now, at my house, around the Thanksgiving table, me, the entire family, just about 24 hours. Yeah, just about 24 hours. 24 hours from now, Thanksgiving dinner, I predict my Uncle Earl will turn to me and say, Dave, what line of work you in? Every year, we go through the same thing every year with him.
if you think about it, though, Thanksgiving is a tough holiday. We agree with me in certain respects Thanksgiving is a tough holiday? You know what it is? Tough. Because you're having dinner, and it's not just dinner, it's like a day-long deal with all your relatives who hate you. You know, it's like being Princess Diana for a day. It's that kind of, just that bad. Hey, Dave. What line of work you in, Dave? What year of school are you in, Dave? You'll never be as big as that Buck Owens. Hey, Dave, can you put me in touch with Lee Majors? Well, I don't know. My Uncle Earl.
Lee Majors?
Yeah, Lee Majors. Hey, Dave, let me ask you a question. Is that Merv Griffin dead? No, Uncle Larry.
Is he dead?
How long, when you talk to people or when you just think about it, how long do you describe your career? When did you officially begin?
I was 15 when I did my first professional job.
15? My goodness.
So that would be 21 years now. I feel like those guys that always come on Merv Griffin and go, oh, I'm in the business 40 years. Applause, you know. So.
Is Merv...
They do pretend well.
Do you know if Merv Griffin is still alive, by the way?
I know he's in Atlantic City. Beyond that, I can't
I like
vouch.
to joke with Merv about being dead. I'm sorry.
That's the free jackets we got today. Just showing them off. You know, doing what we can. But
Are you very excited about the show? It begins on Monday.
It does, a little nerve-wracking.
Tell people what the show is.
Well, it's kind of Merv Griffin meets David Letterman.
Merv Griffin is dead, isn't he?
No, he's not.
Oh.
Merv
I'm never
Griffin,
sure if Merv has passed away or not.
I'm pretty sure he's still here. I had dinner with him a month ago, and it looked like him.
I'm just teasing. Of course, Merv is alive and doing quite well. He's got a couple of those casinos or something.
Yes, he does in Atlantic City.
God bless him. Merv's got all the money.
Well, we're sort of doing his show. I called him, I asked him for advice, and he told me to double down on 11. All righty.
You know, it's no secret Americans have an unquenchable thirst for celebrity trivia. That's why this new book is flying off the shelves. It's ATM Pin Codes of the Stars. And, Julia Roberts' pin code is Pinto. And Merv Griffin's Merv. And here's my pin code, also Merv. Also Merv. Is Merv still alive, Merv Griffin?
Of course he is.
Merv still alive?
Still, yeah, he's huge in the industry.
That's good. Dear Dave, where do you get your suits? Matt Davis, Mobile, Alabama, from America Online, one of them computer things I was just talking about. Yeah,
computer mail.
Matt, you know, if you ever watched the credits at the end of the show, then you know where I get my suits. Roll them.
Mr. Letterman suits provided by Botany 500. Guests of The Late Show stay in a tent on the West Side Highway. Late Show is a production of Merv Griffin Enterprises.
Griffin dead?
No.
He's not dead?
Of course not. Didn't know Griffin owned the show.
Here's the last tip I'm going to get you ready for the big crossbow of death. The earliest reliable record of the use of the crossbow is in 341 BC. I think that was on the old Dinah Shore daytime show. No, I don't think so. No.
She's still living.
No, she's not. She passed away.
Dinah Shore is
she's
alive.
not. She's dead.
Dinah Shore is alive.
No, she's not alive.
How much?
Now you're depressing everyone. What do you mean, how much?
No,
we're not wagering on whether a woman is dead or alive. What kind of sadist are you?
I'm saying she's alive.
Well, fine. Enjoy your lunch with Miss Shore. Now, Merv Griffin's dead, right?
No, he's alive.
Oh, now you're on me now.
No, he is alive.
All right.
I liked it, but the sailors don't see a giant ocean liner until it's 3 feet. They look up, it's as close as that camera.
But what happens?
Oh my God, it's an ocean liner. They didn't see it coming for the last 10 miles.
Why can't they jump off?
Well, they do jump off.
Oh, they finally do jump off because they have that breakneck 8 mile an hour.
Do you know anything at all about computers, David?
No, nothing at all. I don't know anything about
computers.
computers.
Well, this one has a villain in it, Willem Dafoe, who has a computer. And at one point, the computer, on the screen, it says, when to detonate, question mark.
Right.
And he types in, now.
Yeah.
You don't know anything about computers.
Well, I know nothing
about computers. What would the computer do with that?
I don't know.
Is it now, or is it now? Or when is now? A computer wouldn't know what now meant.
All I know is
I laughed and laughed when I saw that, and nobody else In the theater laughed, nobody here laughed. You don't get it either.
This is not a hidden camera. You're on national television with that story.
Listen, if there's anybody out there who knows anything about computers, that's very funny.
We're really
So
late.
you
Let
would
me
type
just see
in
what
now.
we're doing. Really
Save
late.
it for Mike Douglas
Let
if
me
he
ask
comes
you.
back.
Take a long time to explain it.
What? Mike Douglas?
If he comes
He's
back.
coming back? He's dead. Mike Douglas is dead, isn't he? No, he's not dead. Merv Griffin. Merv Griffin is dead, right?
You wouldn't be
Paul,
interested
is
in
Merv
it either.
Griffin dead? Oh, okay.
I can see they wouldn't be interested either.
Hey, you know what I like? I like that Fifth Element. But there are casinos everywhere. Are we on the risk of hurting the fabric of society by having too many casinos?
Well, I never thought it was a great thing for America, to be honest with you, but it's there and it's being approved more and more places.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, we do a good job with them. We do very well with them, and people love us. People love our casinos.
And the various Indian tribes, Native American tribes around the United States, they have opened casinos on their land. And that seems like, is that a good thing for them? Are there benefit from that?
Well, I never thought it was a great thing, and I never thought it was a great thing for the society as a whole. But they have really opened up a lot of casinos, and we'll see how it comes out in the end. A lot of people are talking about organized crime and other things on the reservations. We'll see what happens.
Right. But it gives them a sense of empowerment suddenly.
Well, it
they
does.
feel
It
like,
certainly
well,
does.
now we have a franchise here.
Well, today, almost everybody I know wants to be an Indian. I know more Indians today. Everybody wants to be. It's amazing. And, you know, in the past, perhaps that wasn't quite as so. But there are quite a few Indian reservations with casinos.
Now, I just tell you from experience with that little last comment there, you're going to get sued by somebody else.
I don't mind. I don't mind.
Every time.
I only tell the truth.
Every time you open your mouth, you get sued.
Isn't it amazing? Isn't it amazing?
But okay, now let's to the. By the way, is Merv Griffin still alive? Didn't you?
Barely. No, he is. He's a good guy, actually. He's a nice guy.
But now, does he own a casino in Atlantic City?
He had a casino in Atlantic City, and now somebody else owns that casino.
I heard a story, maybe you can validate this. It was like New Year's Eve or something, and it was very late at night, after New Year's Eve, after the big party, and Merv Griffin comes down into the casino in his robe, you know, like the robes you get, what do they call them, night robe?
Bathrobe.
Bathrobe, exactly. Comes down into the casino and slaps a Keno boy.
Wow.
Did you hear that?
I'm not that surprised, but I haven't heard it.
Because it's Friday and we got a lovely spring weekend coming up, we have a very special surprise for you tonight. All night long, you folks have the rare treat, the rare privilege of watching live via satellite from the Beverly Hilton Hotel in Beverly Hills, California. The rare, hardly ever seen, lovely surprise treat of watching legendary actor Walter Matthau get his hair cut.
No kidding.
Yeah. Turn on the CBS satellite. Here we go. Let's go to California. There we go. Nice to see you, Walter. Thank you very much for letting us in on this very intimate kind of a moment. I certainly appreciate that. How are you doing, first of all, Walter?
Just fine.
Good.
Came here to get my barber, Louis Marino, on television.
This is your barber, Louis Marino. And
Louis Marino. He's been trying to get on television for the last 65 years.
Louis, by the way, has cut Walter's hair for 30 years. Is that correct, men?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Louis, what kind of a tipper is Walter?
Well, he's a big tipper.
Yeah, like what are we talking about? A C note each time?
Well, he gives me a C note, but I have to give him change. About 2 cents.
The boy's got an act. That's pretty good.
It's tax deductible.
Louis has been a barber for 75 years. Is that correct, Louis?
That is correct, Dave.
You look terrific. Congratulations on a great life and a nice career. You've been working at the Beverly Hilton Hotel for 42 years. Must be a good place to work. Is that right?
Oh, that's a fantastic place. I opened here in 1955.
Now, Louis, this is the hotel that's owned by Merv Griffin. Is that correct?
That is correct,
now,
yes.
Do you see Merv in there very often?
Well, he comes in for lunch, but he doesn't get his hair cut here. He's he has his own barber.
Yeah, I understand. I know what you're saying, Louis. Now, I'm told that Merv Griffin is mad at me because I mistakenly mentioned that he might have passed away. But he's not. But, you know, let me tell you something. Merv Griffin gave me my start in television many, many, many years ago. And, of course, I was just kind of joking around. And when you see him, tell him I'm sorry I said he was dead. Okay? And by the way, don't even laugh about this. When he does pass away, because all of us will, when Merv Griffin passes, he will live in our hearts forever. All right. I just want to take a second here to talk a little bit about Merv Griffin. Paul, you know Merv Griffin.
Of course, not personally.
No,
but
you never met Merv Griffin?
No, I haven't met him, but he's an icon.
Folks, when I mention Merv Griffin, you know who I'm talking about, don't you? Merv Griffin?
Icon.
I'd like to get you folks on a polygraph. But anyway, that's a different story. Merv Griffin for years and years and years. As a matter of fact, I believe Merv Griffin had a television show right here on CBS. Merv Griffin did a late-night talk show right here on CBS, and then he had an afternoon talk show, and then he had game shows. In fact, Merv Griffin is the man who invented the television shows Jeopardy, and he also invented the television show Wheel of Fortune.
Yes.
So now, when he left television, Merv Griffin had about $250 million. That's pretty good. That's pretty good for somebody that you barely remember now. $250 million. And this will give you an idea how smart Merv Griffin is. Merv Griffin took that measly, by comparison, measly $250 million and turned it into a $1 billion empire. Wow. Yeah, this man owns those television shows. He also owns resort hotels. Yeah. He owns casinos. He owns hotels. He owns vast real estate holdings. And so I used to be on Merv's show all the time. When you were starting out as a comedian, Merv had a lot of comics on it. It would always be nice. Merv would have you on. So I always liked to kid Merv. So whenever Merv's name comes up on the show, which is, frankly, is not often. Well, I have one of two things. I have two pat set responses whenever I hear the name Merv Griffin. You know what they are, Paul?
Yeah, well, I know one of them.
Okay, the first one is Merv Griffin, and I'm talking about the casinos, I say, I heard a story once that Merv, in the middle of the night, in his bathrobe, came down to the casino and slapped a keno boy.
Right.
That's one.
It's just a joke.
Yeah, and it's just a joke, and the audience sits there just like you did, because you don't know what to make of that. You don't know what the hell I'm talking about. He said, what,
I think
really?
it's hilarious.
Yeah, Paul thinks it's hilarious. Nobody else cares. All right, that's the first response.
Yeah.
I'll say, Merv came down in his bathrobe in the middle of the night and slapped a keno boy.
Yeah.
So I just kind of like that image,
Yeah.
So now the other thing I'll say whenever Merv comes up, I'll say, Paul, is Merv Griffin dead?
Right, you always say that. Yeah.
Just for the heck of it, just because, just for the fun of it. And, we heard now a couple of weeks ago, this really irritates Merv.
Ah, I see.
He doesn't like people saying, is Merv Griffin dead?
No.
In fact, look, he's in this Vanity Fair magazine. Here, let me just remind you who Merv Griffin is. And just some of these pictures here. There we go. Here. Now, here's Merv now. Now, I'll tell you why I think Merv's irritated by this. Merv's one of the wealthiest, most powerful men in the world.
Right.
But, he's not on TV. So you don't see Merv, so it annoys him that I'm making jokes about the guy being dead. So Merv does this. Look at this. Here's Merv. He's going to show you in this magazine. There he is right there. That's not exactly the Merv I remember, but...
Right. What's he wearing there?
Well, it looks like a caftan. I don't know.
Okay.
Something from the dress barn, perhaps.
Okay.
I don't know.
All right.
Now here's Merv right there. And look at Merv. There's Merv singing with his dog. Now here's the Merv. This is like his old TV show right there, Merv. Now here's Merv not only taking a bath on his private yacht.
Uh-huh.
You see it? So Merv is just, and here he is. Here's Merv in his dinghy in front of his private yacht. So clearly, while Merv is very successful and very powerful, he misses, the limelight. And I believe that's why he's upset. He didn't care about slapping a keno boy. He's upset whenever I say to Paul, is Merv Griffin dead? So what I'm going to do tonight, we're just going to try. He owns the Beverly Hilton Hotel out there in Los Angeles. We're going to call the hotel, see if I can't reach Merv, and apologize because, he's a very powerful guy, and I don't want him pissed off at me. So we're going to call out there. Paul, maybe a little dialing music here on the phone. Okay, here we go. Oh, that's good. That's the Jeopardy music, isn't it?
He wrote the song.
Yeah, Merv Griffin invented Jeopardy. Yeah, look at this. Look at this guy, Merv Griffin, right there. This is the guy look, that's him right there. He wrote that song. I'm not dead! I have $1 billion! And you know, here's Merv's crew up here. He's hired these guys. You know, there they are. They're looking at Merv. You know, and you know they have one collective thought as this is taking place in front of them on the high seas. They're thinking to themselves, "Fat ass." And again, just joking. Just joking. So we're going to call the Beverly Hilton Hotel. You ever stayed at the Beverly Hilton Hotel?
I have many times.
Nice place?
I always stay by the pool.
Yeah, they have like the biggest pool in Hollywood.
It's fantastic.
Right?
Yeah, great for laps.
Okay.
Lap swimming, that is.
Yeah,
and
sure,
Merv has a great ballroom in there now. Have you heard about
They
that?
dance in the ballroom?
Yeah.
And for a
Big
while
band.
he was married to the Gabor sisters, right? One of them or something?
I don't know if they ever got married, but they were an item,
they were an
I
item,
understand.
right. Okay, so we're going to call out there, and I'm just going to try to speak to Merv and apologize for asking if he's dead all the time. Because you hear about that Bob Hope thing the other day, where they thought Bob Hope was dead?
Well, exactly.
Yeah, he's not dead.
No,
and
he's not.
It was embarrassing, and I understand, and, you know, a man my age ought to be more respectful of stuff like that. Now, crap, I've misdialed. All right, let's try it again. It's this new area code that threw me. All right. Okay, this should be the Beverly Hilton Hotel. Calling out there in Los Angeles. There's the first ring. Can you hear the ring all right? Okay. All right, Paul, that's beginning to annoy me. Okay, there's a second ring. I don't want to tell Merv how to run his hotel, but there's the third ring.
Thank you for calling the Beverly Hilton. All lines are busy. Please hold, and your call will be answered by the next available operator.
A special Coconut Club supper menu.
There he is.
It's Merv! That's Merv! That's Merv's voice, listen.
And Chimps, the very popular cigar room.
Ooh.
Chimps in the cigar room? Is that what he said?
That's the name of the cigar room.
Is that Merv or
Chimps,
not?
that's definitely Merv. Yeah.
It is
Ooh. Ah.
It's poolside dining in the true Southern California.
Okay, here we go.
Good afternoon, Merv Griffin, Beverly Hilton.
Hi, my name's Dave Letterman. I do a television show in New York City, and we're on the television show right now. What is your name, please?
Lisa?
Lisa?
Yes.
How are you, Lisa?
I'm fine.
How are things in Southern California today?
Beautiful.
Good. How long have you worked there at the hotel?
16 years.
16 years? Who owns the hotel, Lisa? This would be a
Merv
good
Griffin.
test. Merv Griffin. Have you ever met Merv Griffin?
Oh, yes, we are.
Uh-huh. How long ago did he pass away, Lisa?
No, I'm sorry.
What?
Excuse me, he's still alive.
Wait a minute. It's a test. Merv Griffin is alive and well, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
Okay, I'd like to speak to Merv. He and I are friends. I've known him for years. I'd just like to, if you could put me in touch with Merv, I'd appreciate it.
Sure, I'll connect you to his office.
Holy crap, here we go.
That tagline is paying up.
Hang up?
No.
What?
No, that tagline of yours is paying
Good
up.
afternoon, the Griffin Group.
Yes, is Mr. Griffin in, please? This is somebody important calling, but I'd rather not say who right now.
Okay, one moment.
Okay.
The parade of exciting events, including the Oscar nominees luncheon,
Wow.
the Golden Globe Awards.
This is quite a place.
American Film Institute.
You know, if you check into the hotel, you can just listen. They put you on hold, and you stay in your room and listen to this all day.
Yeah.
It's full-service entertainment.
Speak with a member of our catering staff.
Yeah, they're dancing with me now. They know something's hinky here. Here comes Merv again.
This is Charlie.
Hi, Charlie. It's somebody with a TV show. Is Merv there?
He's actually in the airspace over this fine country of ours.
What does that mean?
Means he's flying his own jet right now.
Oh, Merv doesn't fly his own jet, does he?
Well, he doesn't fly it himself, but he goes up to the cockpit once in a while just to check on things.
I know. He sits on the pilot's lap and pretends. Charlie, how long have you been with the Merv Griffin organization?
43 years.
When's the last time you saw Merv?
37 years ago. Well, so you're kind of like his right-hand man, apparently.
Now, Charlie, my name is Dave Letterman. I used to know Merv Griffin years and years and years ago. Has Merv ever mentioned my name?
Yes, he has, Dr. Letterman.
Yeah. Now, Now, we're under the impression every now and then I'll make a joke about Merv being dead, you know. I'll just say to Paul, Paul, is Merv Griffin still alive? And we pretend we don't know. We of course, know he's still alive.
Yeah, it's,
yeah. And we heard that Merv's upset about this, and when you talk to him, Charlie, do me a favor, please extend my apologies, will you?
I will certainly do so.
Do you get the sense that he's upset with me?
I do not get that sense, but if I did get that sense and I expressed that sense, then I would have my sense beat the sense out of me.
Yeah. It sounds like a sweatshop he's got you working in there.
Don't tell Kathy Lee.
Now, I was talking to Paul before the show, and he told me a story. He said one time down in Atlantic City, in the middle of the night, Merv goes down to the casino in his bathrobe and slapped a Keno boy.
I can verify that's completely true.
How about that? All right. Well, listen, Charlie, you're a brave man. It was nice chatting with you. Thank you for putting up with the phone call. And if you see Merv, tell him we said hello, okay?
I will certainly do so.
All right, have a good day.
Have a wonderful day.
All right, bye-bye. There you go. That's Charlie and Merv Griffin. How about that? Well, see? Hey? What do you think?
That was interesting.
See, if I was as big and powerful as Merv Griffin, I'd want a guy like Charlie. You know, you couldn't phase Charlie.
Absolutely.
Charlie is rooted. He's grounded. He's a deep foundation kind of guy.
Yeah.
There's nothing you could say to Charlie that's going to knock him off
great.
step. Yeah, very good. All right. So there you go. I don't know what we've accomplished there, but we've killed 12 minutes. All right. We'll be right back with the old top 10 list and Bill Cosby. Okay, we're going to play Know Your Current Events, Mike. And on Know Your Current Events, there are 4 big ways to win big. 4 big ways to win big. Here, you can win by playing Know Your Current Events. You can play Know Your Cuts of Meat. You can play Know Your Former CBS Owners. You can play Know Your Merv Griffin. 4 big ways to win big. Think it over. Take a second there. What would you like to play?
Know your former CBS owner.
Really?
Know your former CBS owners.
What is it, David?
No, that's all right. I like to tell you what he's going to play, and then you play the music. That's all.
Oh, want to take it again?
You just cut me out. That's
Take
all.
it again.
No. We're wasting time. You forget it. I'll get over it. You know.
All right. I'm just trying to be tight.
I'm just a
trying to
little
get tight
hurt.
up on
Just
it.
a little disappointed. I'm not hurt.
What can I do to make up?
No. Well, we'll try it next time.
Okay.
You sure you don't want to reconsider that one?
Probably do.
You want to try that one?
Yeah, you gonna help me out?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Mike wants to play Know Your Merv Griffin.
Ladder 54 and 48.
Ladder 54 on 48th Street. We'll send you over there. Do you want to go over there and see the guys?
Sure.
Yeah, because they've helped us out here, and I think they actually came over to the building. The building collapsed a couple of weeks ago. And the firemen came over. They're nice guys. Yeah, well, that'd be fun. We'll set that up for you. Okay, Know Your Merv Griffin. Here we go, sir. True or false, Merv Griffin starred in a movie called Cattletown.
False.
True. Oh, no, it's true. Look at that, true.
I didn't see that one.
It looks to me like Merv is living the high life, doesn't it? You see that picture of Merv. There, look at that. Very happy man, Merv. Merv is very wealthy. He's worth like several $1 billion, Merv is. He owns that Jeopardy show. You ever play the Jeopardy? That's Merv's. Merv owns that show.
Oh,
yeah. I know, it's nothing to me either. Okay. Why was Merv Griffin sent to jail in 1996? Why was Merv Griffin jailed in 1996?
He slapped the Keno boy.
That's right. Hey, you're going to dinner, Mike. Now listen,
Yes, sir.
Nathan, I want to get explain what this is. This is a production based on the life of. Now, did you ever meet the guy?
No, I was too afraid. But
Really?
because I feel so strongly about him. But this is...
See, I know him from the old days.
Oh, my God,
I used to
really?
be on his show.
Oh, well, I'll tell you, this is almost a new genre of musical. This is the unauthorized musical biography musical.
Oh, so he has nothing to do with this?
It's called Simply Mervelous.
And it's all about the life and times of the great Merv Griffin.
And
he's always very nice to me.
Very nice, man. And we're all very excited. We're in previews right now, and we have Denny Terrio as the technical consultant. And he's also doing the choreography, which worked out well for us.
Oh, man.
You know, and I haven't been this excited since Merlin, the magical music.
Now, you know, there's a story that I told that I heard. Merv used to, I don't know if he does now, he used to own the casinos all over, like in the Nassau and the Bahamas and Atlantic City.
He owns everything.
That's right. Very wealthy man. Been very good with his money. He owns like Jeopardy, the game show, or sold it to...
It's his idea.
His wife's idea.
Oh, his wife.
His wife's idea.
Oh, I see.
And the story that I always heard...
I've never heard him give her credit, though.
Oh, I think he will.
Oh, will he?
Yeah, I think he will. I think he understands it. I mean, she made him,
Wait till he sees this musical.
Yeah. But there was a point, he comes down to the casino one night, in the middle of the night, disoriented in a robe, and he slapped a Keno boy in the casino. Did you hear that story?
This is what the musical is loosely based on. That's why you have your finger on the pulse of show business.
I think so, yes, I do.
I really hope you'll come to the opening.
I'm there. I am there. I'm Mr. First Nighter.
And if you'll escort Marge and the twins.
Yeah, I'll be happy to be my honor
really
to bring Marge and the twins. Now, I know you have to go off stage and change a little.
I do, and get into character.
Okay, all right. And then we'll see.
You'll excuse me.
And it's Simply Mervelous. There, Nathan Lane. He's great, isn't he? This guy... This is what Broadway is all about, am I right? This is what the musical theater is all about. There's nothing this guy can't do and can't do well.
He wraps his mouth around a musical.
He goes nuts.
Get out of the way.
Yeah. And this, I know. Now you were on the Merv Griffin show, right?
No, I never had the pleasure of doing Merv. No, I never got to do it.
But it's Simply Mervelous. And when did he say it's opening? It's a brand new Broadway musical.
They're in previews now.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if they're out of town or what.
Nathan, what theater are we talking about?
We're at the Uranus.
They haven't picked a theater yet. Everybody ready?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, here we go. This is going to be quite a treat. Now, here performing a number from the new musical, Simply Mervelous, Nathan Lane and the cast and kids from the show. Come on out, folks.
Excuse me, sir. You know you can't go into the Keno Lounge dressed like that.
Hey, kid, do you know who I am?
No.
Have you ever heard of Wheel of Fortune? Jeopardy? The Merv Griffin Show? Play Your Hunch? Okay, you're too young for that one, but listen up, sweetheart. I've got talk shows and game shows, casinos and yachts, lawn boys and pool boys and dozens, why not? I always get the last order. Why? 'Cause I'm Merv.
Actor,
yes,
writer,
right,
producer,
sure.
singer, drinker,
yeah,
fighter,
not really. Yeah, I'm Merv, I'm Merv, I'm Merv.
I think show business legends for 1,000, Alex.
I'm so rich, I don't wear clothes, not a stitch. Though I suppose that everybody hates me. I don't care. Damn it, I'm a billionaire. But why? Why do I feel so alone? Wheel of love keeps turning, spinning, hoping, yearning, round and round until we die. Wheel of love, you bastard! If you spin much faster, love will go and pass me by.
Yes, sir, Mr. Griffin. Good.
Nathan Lane. Wonderful. Wonderful. Good luck. Good luck, kids. Nice job.
Thank you, sir.
Nathan Lane, ladies and gentlemen. He is Merv Griffin. We'll be right back with Linda Ronstadt and Emmylou Harris. Let me tell you who's on the program this evening. We've done so many shows over the years, and occasionally you'll have a show where you start thinking about it, and the more you think about it, you actually get giddy with excitement. You get sort of, oh, I can hardly wait, and I think tonight is one of those. On the program, Phantom Planet.
Yeah.
Rock and roll Phantom Planet.
Great band. It's a great song.
And the kid, Jason Schwartzman, who was here last night, the movie star from Slackers, he's in the band Phantom Planet.
On drums, yeah.
On drums.
Yeah.
He'll be here tonight, Phantom Planet. And Merv Griffin.
Hey.
Here's why I'm excited about Merv Griffin, and I hope because I'm excited, you'll be excited about Merv Griffin. Years ago, when I first went out to California from Indiana and was starting a career as a stand-up comedian, Merv Griffin had a television show, he had a talk show, and he's had many television shows over. In fact, he had a late-night talk show right here on CBS, yes. I believe, for a while.
That's right.
So Merv was always very nice and very generous, and all of the guys, the young men and women who were just starting out doing stand-up comedy, Merv would let them be on the show, and it was always great. And he was very nice and very generous, and it was a big boost to people because, you leave your home and your parents don't know what you're up to, and they just think, well, he was abducted. We haven't seen him. We don't. And then you show up on the Merv Griffin show, and then they breathe a sigh of relief. They think, oh, okay. So that was good for us. And then, wait a minute. And then I got lucky and I got my own show, and I don't know when this happened, but Paul and I, maybe me more than you, I would start making jokes about Merv. Oh, and I'll tell you what a great guy Merv is. One time when we were doing the morning show, Paul was not part of the morning show.
No, I wasn't.
Yeah, and
get up that early.
The morning show was on for like 6 weeks, and it was not doing well. It was never doing well. It was just horrible, and it was just nobody. I couldn't even watch it. It was so bad. And Merv comes on as a guest, and he starts talking about how great the show is and how well it's doing. And I thought, well, gee, see, that's Merv. What a nice thing for Merv to do. Yeah, give us a little boost like that. So then we get the other show at NBC, and we've been on the air, and I start mentioning things about Merv Griffin. I say to Paul, Merv's dead, isn't he?
I used to say that, yeah.
Yeah, I used to say that.
That was kind of mean, a little mean.
Well, no, it was a joke, for God's sake. Only because we had not heard from Merv, and we were trying to get him on the show, and then it got to be a running joke. And Paul, is Merv dead, by the way? And so we got wind that Merv didn't like that. Understandably. And then we used to do it. I used to tell a long story about how Merv, he owns a lot of casinos and stuff. He's fabulous. By the way, he owns Jeopardy. He owns Let's Make what is the other one? Let's Make a Wheel of Fortune.
Wheel of Fortune.
Let's Make a Wheel.
Yeah, that would be.
And
that would be good too.
That's right. And he invented those shows. He was sitting around between his own show, and he would come up with ideas for these game shows, and they were hugely successful. And then he sold them off, and now he's a multi-billionaire. He owns hotels and casinos, and he and Donald Trump are always locked in some kind of blood feud, and
Right.
So I would say that, did you hear what happened at one of Merv's casinos? And Paul would say, well, no, what happened? I said, oh, it's terribly ugly. In the middle of the night, Merv comes down in his bathrobe and slaps a Keno boy.
Yeah. And then we actually wrote a musical.
That's right.
Portraying that. Portraying that scene with songs and everything.
Nathan Lane was in it, right?
That's right. Yeah, did a marvelous job.
So now Merv goes from being a great guy and having me on the show when I don't deserve to be even anywhere, and now we're making fun of Merv, and it was just harmless. We're just kids trying to have a good time, and waiting for him to build the teen center, and so. And then, and so we tried, and he wouldn't come on the show. And then I see him showing up on the Craig Kilborn show, which is the show right after this. And that's when I said, now, wait a minute. Not only is he not dead, he's doing the show. And that's I put my foot down. I said, well, for heaven's sakes, we have to have, anyway, Merv's here tonight. And so that'll be a thing. Our first guest tonight is the creator of Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy. He also, I think, created Scrabble, Bingo, and Dominoes.
Kidding. See, that I didn't know.
No. He is a hotel magnate and a bona fide television legend. Ladies and gentlemen, here's Merv Griffin.
I get money for that, you know. I wrote that.
Huh? Oh, like you need a little more money.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Paul, for saving my life so many times on the show, even though I was dead. Listen, Paul, I get paid for that, you know that?
Yeah, I know. It's a beautiful song.
Could you play da-da-da-da-da-da?
We play that every night, Jeopardy.
Oh, good.
Well, you just made some money just now.
Yeah, I got money for just doing
singing that, yeah.
Okay.
Sit down.
Look at how great this kid grew up, huh?
Now,
wow, David.
We have so much to cover.
You look younger in person.
Thank you.
Now, where are the mutton chops? Remember, on my show, he had big mutton chops like Elvis. Did they grow in?
I don't think I had like Elvis. Now, did I cover? Now, first of all, are you angry with me, Merv?
Never. Why would I be angry?
Because I made all of those silly
You've
jokes.
kept my old name alive for 15 years, buddy.
You've done all right with
sort
that.
of. I was a little distressed. I mean, the dead thing really. I was in bed and my body shook all over. I thought, geez, maybe I am dead and nobody's told me. Who's going to tell me if I'm dead?
Well, that's your problem.
Yeah.
Now, Merv. Now, did you do one of your shows in this theater?
I did. Not one of my shows. I did my show in this theater.
The CBS
but it
show?
Certainly wasn't as nice as this. You know, Ed used to work, Sullivan used to work way over there.
Right.
So all he did was, I know I might otherwise, yeah. But he had the audience in front of you, but when you came on and performed, the orchestra was down in there, and then you performed to nothingness.
Yeah.
Like this.
Right.
No. Dan.
But do you remember you had you had your own theater, and you would do all out in California. We would do all of those shows, and we would come over, and it was great fun.
Oh, it was great having you.
How many years did that show run? It was on.
It was 24. So you got 4 years to go. Then you can surpass me. Then you got to go. How many for Carson? You got to beat him.
30, close to
30
years. 30 years. And you had a
and
show.
Where is he?
Well, he's at his house, I guess, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
Do you see Johnny?
I always did.
Yeah.
I always did when I would have dinner with he and Alex, one of my favorite people in the world, Johnny. And then up went the wall, and I hope he's behind that wall.
You mean the wall around his house?
Well, what other wall?
Well, I don't know. I thought the Berlin
I never
Wall.
Asked questions. He's back there.
Now, wait a minute.
The thing is, David, you become a success. It'll happen to you. You become a great success.
You got to write this down.
Write anything. You become a great success in New York. You move to Hollywood. Everybody's thrilled out there because you were a hit in New York, like you know. And then you buy a house with a huge wall and nobody ever sees you again. I mean, Streisand, she's behind a wall. Everybody's behind a wall.
You must have a pretty good wall yourself.
Well, I have the Beverly Hilton. That's my...
Whoa! Now,
wall.
I want to get into that aspect of it, but the thought just occurred to me. Is it true that Johnny's brother, Dick, did he direct your show?
He directed my show when I was leaving, and while I was doing it, I also gave him Wheel of Fortune, and he directed that for all those years.
Yeah. So you were very good to the Carson family.
Oh, I tried to help them.
And then Johnny. And Johnny would always do jokes about the Merv Griffin's got another one of those theme shows.
Always. Oh, be sure and watch Merv tonight. He's got a theme show. He's got 6 Lithuanian proctologists, and they all want to be nuns, you know? And at home, I'd go, wow, go, Johnny. Because we started the themes, you know. Oprah, can I say that?
Sure,
yeah. I got to tell you a story.
Have you been on Oprah's show?
Because I like you. No.
You've never been on the Oprah show?
No. But, I mean, I know her. I called her.
Really? You called her?
I wanted to come in tonight with some really exciting news for you.
And?
So I called her. And I said, I don't know why you won't answer his calls.
Right.
Why? It could be one of your greatest rating getters of all time.
Sure, it would be Super Bowl
And now
numbers.
we'll find out everything that we don't know about.
That's right.
You know,
Yes.
nobody knows where you live.
Oh, I have demons, Merv.
Well, you
I
have a
demons.
fence. Oh, demons.
I'm going to talk about my demons, for God's
You live
sake.
behind a fence, I understand.
Yeah, I don't have a wall. It's a
fence.
fence.
You got a wall when you move out there. Now, and I said, and I promise you I'll talk to him. He won't bang the pencil.
Yeah.
He won't. I mean, he's going to tell you everything.
Yeah.
And I said, let me take him the good news.
Oh, that's...
And she had hung up.
Really?
Yeah. The minute I said David Letterman, boom. I didn't know it. I just kept on talking.
Thank you. God bless you.
Oh, David, I
It's
want it
interesting
for you.
because I know you're worth more than Oprah, and Oprah is really, really, that's stratospheric numbers there, and even you have surpassed that.
Wow.
With your hotel.
Where is it?
Now tell us about that. You leave television, and then all of a sudden, the next thing you know, you're buying hotels. You're
Well,
buying
I wasn't
casinos.
going to go behind a wall.
Right.
I said, I'm going to go out there, put myself out in the public, because you do a show like this, you never meet the public.
Right.
You know, you don't see them when you come in, you don't see them when you go out.
Sure.
I want to meet the public, so I bought the Beverly Hilton Hotel.
It's a great hotel.
It is a great hotel.
I've been there many, many times.
I know you have.
They always have functions at the Beverly Hilton Hotel.
Everything. Every Hollywood party, if it isn't held at Craig Kilborn's, it's held at the Beverly Hilton Hotel. Well, you just saw the Golden Globes from Golden Globes. My voice is changing. How wonderful.
Nice sound, yeah.
Thank you, Paul. Yeah.
You just made money from doing that.
All right.
You got a royalty.
I love that guy.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Now, what was it? Oh,
yeah.
The Beverly Hilton Hotel, and
Yeah.
then you mentioned the Golden Globes, and then, but when did you start buying the casinos?
Oh, I bought the casinos back in '88.
How many do you have?
Oh, I sold them all.
You don't own them anymore?
Oh, no. 15 years, that's it.
And when you...
See, I've been here in 15 years. 15 years is my...
Right. Now, the story about you slapping a Keno boy, that never happened.
Well, first of all, how could it happen?
I don't know.
They don't have Keno boys.
They don't have Keno boys.
No. I slapped a Keno girl.
No, you didn't.
No, I did.
You didn't. Now, hey. No, you didn't.
She had a little short skirt on. I said, this is not nice. These people are religious here, and I want to dress with a nice long gown.
Huh? You're out of the casino business already?
Oh, yeah. I sold the riverboats. I sold Paradise Island.
Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah. I did everything.
Wow. Well,
sold them.
Good for you, and you're enjoying yourself.
Now I'm enjoying myself.
Now, I want to find out, we have some...
you don't want to hear money all day.
We have a clip, and I want to find out...
But Wheel of Fortune, you know, is the #1 slot machine in the world.
Is that right?
Yeah.
They've turned it into a slot
machine, yeah.
And Pat Sajak is still hosting that show. Pat, and of course...
Don't you have a television set for God's sake?
I'm so busy, getting ready for the big show.
I like this chair.
But well, sure. Now I want to find out. When are we going to show the clip of Merv? We have an old clip of you because you started out as a band singer and an actor. So when are we going to?
Well, what is the clip?
I don't know. Let me find out.
Are you with the show?
Yeah. I'm trying to find out this thing. So we do a commercial.
You know, your other show you own is really run very smoothly.
All right, we'll take a look at the clip of Merv when we come back, everybody.
Are we coming back?
I don't know. Aren't they fantastic?
Oh, but that's not it. It goes da da
Here we
da
go again.
da da da.
It's $50 right there.
Oh, more than that. More than that. This is network.
Do you miss having a talk show?
No.
No. Not at all? Well, why not?
You won't either.
Well, good. I'm glad to hear that.
The head of CBS, Les Moonves, was quoted as saying, "If Letterman can't get on Oprah, who needs him?" Big stars go on Oprah.
Yeah. Well, that was kind of my point.
Yeah.
But I mean, because it was like a party for you every time on your show, and you don't miss that atmosphere.
Oh no, I have parties every night, Beverly Hilton, and I have a lot of other hotels too.
Do you
party every?
Is this true that you had a feud with Donald Trump, or is it not true?
Well, that was 15 years ago.
Really? That was over.
Is he still alive?
I'm not sure.
Well,
not sure about that.
Oh. What is he in charge of the obituaries?
Yeah.
No. Now, by the way, before we get out of time, I want to mention this because this is a pretty nice thing.
That was 2 weeks ago. That's lovely.
This is your hotel there. Mm-hmm. Look at that. They've named a drive, a street.
They never do that in Beverly
Hills. No, they don't like to do that.
There's Cannon Drive. That was Diane Cannon. That was the last.
No, it was not, Merv. Come on. Now look at that. And how did that? They just said he's been such a great. Did you live in Beverly Hills?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
You called about that, on the phone.
Oh, was that what it was?
No, you called. You don't remember one of the amazing things you did is one time live on the show you called the Beverly Hilton and you said to the operator, "How long have you been there?" She said, "I've been here 15 years." Right. You said, "Have you ever seen Merv?" She said, "No." Which was great for relationships with the staff. And then you called my assistant Charlie. Mm-hmm. And Charlie said, "How long have you been there, Charlie?" Charlie said to you, "I've been here 47 years. And he said, "Well, when did you see Merv last?" You said, 37 years ago I saw him. I want to tell you, I laughed all through that.
Do you do a lot of convention business at the hotel?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Is it capacity all the time?
Oh, yeah.
What's your high season?
Well, depends on what you're on, No. My high season...
But say I'm traveling and I'm bringing the family out and I want a nice, like a junior suite.
A junior suite?
Could you put me in like a junior suite
You'll
there?
pay a lot, buddy. Yes, I can. I can put you in a beautiful cabana suite by the pool and also the famous restaurant Griff's.
Oh,
yeah.
But I'll tell you the problem with being that close.
I named that after.
Being that close to the pool is the chlorine. I just don't like in the air you get the chlorine.
Chlorine?
Yeah, I'd prefer something...
My friend, it's all Evian water. Are you kidding? Would I have chlorine in my pool?
Now, I want to take a look here at this is a film you did.
So This Is Love.
So This Is Love.
I just read it here backwards. I learned to read backwards.
Who else was in the film?
Well, Katherine Grayson. Mm-hmm. She did the first film with all the biggies. Frank Sinatra. Right. She did Mario Lanza's first film she did, and my first film.
Now, could you act? Did you
what
know
were you doing up
I'm
there?
Scratching my head.
Oh.
You never, in 24 years, you never scratched anything on the air?
My head, never. No. Did you ever sneeze on the air?
Yeah, I sneezed. Oh, hell, I've done worse than that.
Have you? Yeah, but see, they wouldn't know. They're 50 feet away.
Now, listen, Merv, seriously. Yes. So did you want to be an actor? You didn't really want to be an actor.
No, I didn't like that at all. Yeah. No, sitting around. I produce now films.
I know.
And your friend Jamie Gertz said, "Oh, I like him.
Oh, good.
Give him. Oh, I love him."
Thank you.
I'm doing Gilda, the Gilda Radner story right now. Yeah.
But now,
thank you.
At one time you must have thought you were going to be in movies, right?
Well, they hired me. I'd take any job in those days, and I was a singer, and so they hired me for this film. And
what was the reaction to your performance?
Well, it was with Katherine Grayson, and she's beautiful. And I was the lead man, and so
you were the lead in the film. Wow.
I'm not sure about that.
No, I was the lead in the film. Yeah. It was short, but I was the lead. Now, with Katherine. And now, at the Pantages Theater, the famous they had the press night there. They show it to all the press. Everybody came to see this new kid that they would dare to put with Katherine Grayson, great star. And I almost died. I hadn't seen any of the Russians. They wouldn't let you see Russians. I was sitting down the seat here like this, and my girl is with me. She's sliding down. I don't even want to look at the damn thing.
You're self-conscious. You're
Very,
worried.
very
You're
embarrassed,
nervous.
yeah. And you're so big. And I was just a thin little person. They then came the moment of the love scene, and the camera comes in, and the music starts playing, and I kissed her. And I don't know how it happened, but I think out of nervousness, we both opened our mouths. Oh. You see. Now, that was the first screen kiss with open mouths in Hollywood. Yeah, that was not allowed in those days, 1953.
Now, was this was talkie? Look, Merv, I'm scratching again.
It was a talkie and it was in color. Are you scratching again?
I'm scratching again. All right, now let's...
He's scratching again. God works in funny ways.
Let's see.
Make him scratch.
Merv Griffin, So This Is Love.
So This Is Love, yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Fabulous. Wow.
That's remarkable.
That was amazing for me to see.
How old a kid were you in that?
Well, I was about 24, 25.
What a good looking. Look at this guy right here. That's unbelievable. Did you make other films after that?
No.
Now, Merv,
no, I did. I did a couple of cowboy films. I did a film with Richard Dreyfuss's first film. He played a rock and roll orchestra leader called Down Under or something like that, where they lived under the sea. Toady Fields used to say to me, they played your film on my flight coming out. You know? And I'd say, did you like it? She said, I stayed in the toilet the whole time. I didn't see that.
That's not nice.
Piece of junk. Yeah, not nice.
Now, you've not been on the show in like 20 years. You were on the old show. And
that was on purpose.
Yeah,
you know, when you've been a talk show host, you know. Mm-hmm. I went on with you after 5 years, which I knew was you were substantial then. Uh-huh. And then I waited to see if you could go beyond that before I came back.
But you were on a Pretty Boy show like right away.
Who's Pretty Boy?
You know, Craig Kilborn.
Well, Craig Kilborn is Los Angeles. I just have to go down 3 blocks and there's his show.
Oh, so it's just a matter of convenience.
It's a matter of 3,500 miles, yeah.
But you'll consider coming back more regularly.
I will. Oh, I'd love. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
Merv Griffin, everybody. We'll be right back with Phantom Planet.
I might consider taking over the show.
Thank you very much, Paul. It's a good time to get this guy out here because if there's a guy alive today who knows more about running a show than Merv, I don't know who that would be.
Oh, there is
He'll
no
come
one.
out here and everything will be fine.
He invented this stuff.
Absolutely. Our first guest is a bona fide television legend and the author of this new memoir entitled Merv, Making the Good Life Last. Ladies and gentlemen, here's Merv Griffin.
Thank you. Oh, unbelievable.
Beautiful.
Unbelievable.
Song.
Oh.
What a song.
Did you tell them that I was here?
Yeah.
Oh.
Now, Merv, that song that Paul played you on with, that was the theme song for all
the
your
Merv
shows.
Griffin show,
Yeah. Now, tell people what that was like. What kind of show was that?
What show?
Your show, the Merv Griffin Show.
It was on 23 years. I watch yours.
Well, no, but I just describe it generally in the beginning.
Describe it generally.
Yeah.
All right. It was a talk show. Mm-hmm. And with a lot of newcomers that we could buy cheap, for the show.
You were always very nice to young comedians working in California.
Look who started on the show.
Everybody started on your show.
Not everybody. No.
Almost everybody.
Ray Romano didn't start the show.
Well, why not? Why didn't he start on the show?
He wasn't around.
Oh.
And I've been off the air 16 years. Why do you have me on?
Well, because
your demographics can go right in the toilet.
No, you're a television legend, Merv. We're honored and proud to have you.
I'm a legend. Wow.
Now, tell us about...
I feel I'm like a pioneer.
All right, a pioneer. Fine.
You know,
Get Merv back to the Conestoga.
yes.
Now, run us through the chronology of it. You started out with Play Your
What does
Hunch.
chronology mean?
You know, your story.
Oh, yeah, okay.
You Play Your Hunch, was that the first one?
My
TV
first
show.
what?
A TV show.
Oh, no, my first TV show was the Arthur Murray. No. I was on the Arthur Murray show. Mery. Ken Murray and his Blackouts.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And I was in the middle of my song, and it was live, and they ran over, and they just took all the set pieces and moved it to somebody else. It was an embarrassing show.
All right. Now, from there, you went to Play Your Hunch?
Then I did Play... Why are you trying to get to Play Your Hunch?
Well, that's the only one I remember.
Oh. Play Your Hunch. Yeah, it probably was Play Your Hunch.
Yeah.
I had a religious show. They hired... I wanted to talk. I didn't want to sing anymore. Don't have to rely on a...
You started as a singer with bands and stuff?
When? Anyway, but I didn't want to rely on my singing voice. You get a cold and you're out of the business for the rest of your life.
Exactly.
So I sat in my apartment and I said, you call me if there's a talking job. Well, singers didn't talk on television.
Of course.
What?
I said, of course. I'm trying to be supportive.
You're helping me along.
I'm trying to help, yes.
You know, I've been analyzing you closely. You have only one tick. You know, Carson had 26 of them.
Really?
You know. You only have one, and it's very interesting.
Yeah,
you come out with your double-breasted jacket on, right? And it's open. You leave it open. It gives you a nice kind of swing as you walk out and accept the applause. When you get your first big laugh, you button the buttons.
Then I close it up.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Why?
I don't know. It's fascinating, though, isn't it? Or
It
is
is fascinating.
Yeah. I'm sure that it is.
Psychologically, that is fascinating.
All right, now let's get back to you, Merv.
Yeah.
So from Play Your Hunch, you then is that when the Merv Griffin show began after the Play Your Hunch?
Yeah. Well, Play Your Hunch was on all 3 networks.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Now, how can a thing like that happen? That was a mistake,
Well, because
right?
it was around... No. It was around the time... I feel like I'm on hardball. You know?
But I'm just thinking, something like that...
I work slowly and deliberately.
We have plenty of time. Just relax.
Okay.
But it seems like today it's unlikely that Play Your Hunch would be on all 3 networks simultaneously.
Well, it started on CBS.
Right here.
And then it didn't do well, and it went on ABC. Not here. And it kind of passed there. And then those terrible scandals happened, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, people went to jail.
Yeah, but the quiz show scandals where the games were fixed.
Fixed? Yeah.
People knew the answers to the questions.
I know that. I read the papers. And they... and Robert Redford made a whole movie about it.
Well, yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Was it Robert Redford?
Robert Redford, yes.
Okay.
I haven't had a chance to drink this.
Well, please, it's complimentary.
Oh, why is it in a coffee cup? That's just old water.
I don't know. What would
I just got a couple of pieces of melon in my dressing room. Has Buddy Boy been cutting the budget here, huh?
You don't need to have the melon if you.
Any
don't
guy that goes to Afghanistan for Christmas.
Now listen to me.
Yeah.
Then the Merv Griffin show began, and you had your announcer Arthur Treacher. Is that who that was?
Yes, he was the first one.
And
from the little theater off Times Square, it's the Merv Griffin show.
Right.
And here's the dear boy himself, Mervin. You know?
Right. And
he was like throw up, and I say, Arthur, don't go so crazy on the Mervin, you know.
And he was a British actor. Is that who that was?
My word, yes.
Yeah.
Every pic. Did you see Shirley Temple growing up?
Yeah, I read the papers.
They played her in Indiana?
Yeah.
Yeah. And he was her butler.
Oh.
Yeah, always. Oh, he was the one. Then he was in
I didn't see Shirley
Mary
Temple
Poppins.
I'm sorry.
Oh.
I didn't see that.
Well, then why are you asking about Arthur Treacher?
Because I'm curious about Arthur Treacher, because later in our hometown of Indianapolis, there was an Arthur Treacher's...
Circle in the Square Theater. I played there.
Fish and
I
Chips.
followed Benny Good. Fish and Chips.
Yeah. He said a thing.
Do you remember Circle in the Square Theater?
No.
Is there a Circle in the Square?
Well, it's the Circle City, because there's at the center of town, there's a giant circle, a big traffic circle.
Is it named
the
David Letterman Circle?
No. It's a monument, a soldiers and sailors monument.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a very important, significant landmark.
Well, there was a theater there, Circle in the Square Theater. Right. I played there.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but your friend Arthur Treacher...
Arthur Treacher
had a chain of fish.
He never went to Indianapolis.
No, but he had a chain of fish and chip stores across the country.
Yes, he did.
Well, now, how did a thing like that happen?
Well, because his first business didn't work. When he joined my show, he went into other businesses. And he had a business called Call Arthur Treacher, which supplied people to work in your house, servants, all kinds of stuff.
That's a pretty good idea.
And, you know, he's from England. And so one night on the air, I said, where do you get those people? Are those war prisoners? And he didn't like that, so he switched to fish and chips. And that was a big hit.
Well, it's interesting because he was very successful, and you yourself in other avenues of economic pursuit have also been very successful.
Right.
We'll talk about that when we come back.
Why won't they name that boulevard or that route?
Oh, I don't know.
No, don't try to get off it. Did you see the back of the book?
Yeah, Merv Griffin.
It's great.
Yeah.
There are no celebrity streets in Beverly Hills. I am the only one. It is a great honor. Of course, I own the street.
Yeah. Now but there's a Gracie Allen and
no, George Burns.
George Burns.
No,
yeah.
those are not in Beverly Hills. Those are by the hospital, Cedars Sinai.
I see.
Yeah. Okay. Where were we?
We have to do a commercial. And like you used to
For
do
the
on your
fish
show.
and chips?
Yeah, no, do it like you used to. Just throw it like you on the old show.
Oh, we'll be right back after this message.
Interpol will be out in a couple of minutes. Now, Merv,
that rhythm just doesn't stop.
Tell us a story. We've been
on December the 16th at 11:37 at night, Paul Schaefer screamed my name across the stage. And you know, you bandy my name around a lot.
We use you as a reference, yes.
Oh. Why did you yell my name?
What was that date again?
December the 16th, 11:37 at night, you yell, Merv Griffin.
Oh, yeah, well, that was out of respect.
No. No,
we're talking about celebrity Christmas cards. Well-wishers from celebrities sending messages like videotaped Christmas wishes.
Oh, yeah. And you said that you had gotten one of the greatest. You were so thrilled, and you said, guess who it is? Right. And he yelled Merv Griffin.
Merv Griffin, exactly. That's what we're talking about.
No.
Oh, I did not. No, I did not. No.
I sent you a Christmas card.
Of course you did, and I appreciate it.
To
Thank you very
Kabul
much.
or somewhere.
Yeah. Now, listen, Merv, we've been horsing around here enough. I want you to tell me a story from the old days on your show. No, easy. When you might have had trouble with a guest and how you handled it. Big star comes on the show. Chemistry's not quite right.
He became a big star. I know what you're talking about. It's in the book, Making the Good Life Last. Anyway, Merv Griffin way on the back.
Yeah.
The Peter O'Toole. Oh, that was bad. I interviewed him in England. He had just finished Lawrence of Arabia. And I'd go in, this nice guy, and he had dark brown hair, handsome guy, funny. Told great stories about all of his, did a medley of his accidents doing Lawrence of Arabia. Fall off the camel, a camel stepped on me, all that kind of stuff. And then he said, Merv, when I come to New York for the premiere, I want to do your show. I said, wow.
Yeah.
Because that was highly publicized, yeah. Am I boring you?
No, it was a big movie. It was a great film, by the way.
Yeah. Because sometimes when you bite your lip and don't button the coat,
no, I'm fine.
Okay.
Merv, I'm on your side.
Oh, you're aiding me.
I want to make the good life last, or whatever it is.
Wow.
That's what I want to do.
Do you take an aspirin every day?
Yes, I
do. All right, so.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I said, oh, God, I'd be thrilled. So we heard Peter O'Toole's coming. We called. Oh, yeah, he wants to be on Merv's show. And I did the whole interview. I didn't see him before. And I said, here's Peter O'Toole. And this man walked out with white hair, and he sat down. And I looked at him and said, which is a great opening when you were doing it. I said, you're not Peter O'Toole. And he looked at me and he said, really? And I said, I just interviewed Peter O'Toole. And this is some kind of joke by the staff. You know, who would be fired right after the show. Then I said, listen. And I said, I interviewed him. He had nice brown hair. I said, wait a minute. Huh?
Yeah.
I've always had lots of that.
Yeah.
And I said, you dyed your hair to match this character you're playing in Lawrence O'Toole. In Lawrence of Arabia, not his O'Toole. And you got me talking fast now. Why am I doing this? I talk slow.
Merv,
yes.
Settle down.
Settle down.
Make the good life last, Merv.
I'm trying.
All right.
Oh, I hope it goes beyond tonight. Anyway. So I said, oh, you dyed your hair so you'll match the guy everybody's going to see. And he said, really? Highly insulted. And I knew I was in trouble. Oh. And he just stared at me. And I asked him a question, one-word answer, yes. So the papers were on the desk, and I just went, I said, do you have any hobbies? No, I don't. I drink. And I went, any children? Yes. And I said, you're uncomfortable. He said, I am. I said, you'd like to leave. He said, I would. I said, you'd probably like to go all the way back to London, wouldn't you? And he said, I would. And I said, goodbye. Oh. And he left. And as he walked by the flat in back of my desk, he leaned against it and yelled, he's a son of a bitch! Classy guy.
But since then, you probably have made it up, right? You get along pretty well after that? Things were better after that?
No.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Let's talk a little bit about the book. Now, you've written 3 books, and this is the 3rd in a trilogy?
Trilogy is,
I don't know.
Trilogy is 3.
Yeah, I know, but is this like the 3rd of a third?
Well, no. This is Merv 2. Merv 3, well, really Merv 1.5 was a book of a compilation of all the interviews I did. Mm-hmm. But this is picking up my life at 1980, where the last one stopped.
Okay, and
right.
so give us some highlights of your life in 1980. What transpired
well,
then?
It wasn't just 1980. It went on all through today.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But give
I got
us a
into
point of
business.
demarcation.
What?
A point of demarcation.
Do you have to go through all those machines?
No, so we can place
You've
ourselves.
gotten a lot of new words since I was here last.
We're just trying to place ourselves historically.
Historically. Well, in 1980, I went on. Of course, the 80s were very, very nice. I sold Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy, Coca-Cola.
And then you started buying the hotels.
Oh, I bought everything.
How many hotels have you owned?
Oh, maybe 12.
Yeah. How many do you own now?
I own 1, 2, 3.
Which ones?
I own the Beverly Hilton, which is the hottest hotel.
Oh, yeah.
It has been Golden Globes are coming.
Legendary hotel.
Legendary hotel.
They still put the little chocolate on the pillows?
I do that.
Yeah. That's a nice touch.
Yeah. Well, you have to be personal. You have to do things.
Of course.
The customer, you go up, you fluff their pillow a little, you put 2 mints, not just chocolate.
2 mints.
You get 2 mints there, and then you check to see if their water is
remember
okay.
that story that I told about you years and years ago that you used to own a casino, and one night in the middle of the night you came down in your bathrobe?
You did a whole number with Nathan Lane. Must have cost you a fortune. And the whole premise was wrong.
You'd slapped a Keno boy.
I slapped a Keno boy because you said he didn't know who I was. And I said to him, David, why do you spend that kind of money? There are no Keno boys. They're girls. Well, he wanted to get his money back, you know.
So then in 1980, dramatic change in your life, but your fortunes still continue to rise.
It did?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because now you're out of television, you've sold off your properties, but still in all, new horizons.
Yeah.
For Merv Griffin.
Absolutely. And started buying hotels. And I loved them. You know, they're talk shows with beds.
Mm-hmm.
And so...
Is that right?
I slid that in. But then I found out that things can go wrong.
Go wrong, yeah.
Now, you know, you probably read the newspapers. There's a young lady in L.A., Heidi Fleiss.
Oh, yes, I remember all about that. Yes.
And the police, I don't know when they're going to do a setup, you know, or what do they call that?
A sting.
A sting.
Yeah.
Ooh. And Heidi, they stung up in one of the suites.
Oh, that happened in your hotel?
In my hotel. Oh. Can you believe it? The cops came, arrested her, put handcuffs on her, and she said, that'll be another $100. Oh. They, is that bad? But then there was a sad one, David.
It's called, okay, you want to end on a
sad one? When I had the Givenchy Spa down in Palm Springs, all the Hollywood stars had come there, you know, and in came Robert Downey Jr.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, and I'm sitting home,
story.
and I see the 11 o'clock news, and there's the anchor standing in front of my name saying, Robert Downey was arrested here today on drugs and saying, I went, oh, my God. And then for the next 2 days, Robert Downey, room 311, they showed the door, everything.
Oh.
You know, like something magic was going to come under the door.
No.
So everybody was calling on phones. People are weird. We want the room 311. We want 311.
Oh, yeah, that's ugly. That's
like the
ugly
drugs
part
are still in
nature.
there,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
And they, so I'm a marketer. I like marketing.
Yeah.
I called the manager hotel. I said, Rose Narva. I said, Rose, you take 20 rooms, change them to 311, sell out that place.
It's Merv.
That even made Robert laugh.
Merv, making the good life
Does
last.
this mean I'm going to go?
You have to leave now, Merv. I'm awfully sorry. It's been a delight having you with us.
Oh, Interpol is here.
That's right.
I met the guys back there.
Yeah, good to see you again. Happy New Year.
Well, I can stay for another hour or so.
Stay there if you like. No, stay right there. We'll be right back with Interpol. And there's Rupert G. Rupert, how are you, my friend?
Dave.
How's it going?
Great, Dave.
What do you got on there? You got on some kind of a blue and black kind of a thing? What is that?
It's a jogging top.
It's a jogging top. And you got there's a zipper on there? Is that what that is?
Yeah.
How high up does that go? Okay, now how far down does it go? Yeah. I don't know. Which do you like better, Paul, up or down?
I like up.
Okay, Rupert, go up again if you don't mind. And now let's see what halfway looks like. Yeah, I don't know. Would you do me a favor and slip out of that thing altogether? Because it's Fashion Week. The microphone? It's all right. Just take the microphone off. We don't care. Just take that. You'll be fine. It's not like you got a lot to say anyway. There you go. Can you still hear us? You know what's going on?
I hear you.
Now, listen, Rupert, tonight we're playing a brand new game. You know anything about this?
Yes.
Well, tell folks what it's called.
It's What Did Merv Have for Lunch?
That's right. What did Merv have for lunch?
What did Merv have for lunch?
Music in our ears. You'll get a contestant. We got Merv on the phone. We have 3 dishes, and they have to tell us what it is Merv Griffin had for lunch. Okay. And then he confirms it right there, and if you win, you get a lovely prize. It's just that simple. Am I right?
That's right.
All right. Can you go out there now?
Yes.
Okay. Hey, hold it, Rupert. Before you go, you better slip that thing on. It's chilly outside. Put your shirt back on. I hate for you to catch cold.
Thanks, Dave.
What were you thinking anyway, for God's sakes? All right, get that back on. If you get it on, it's not on backward, is it?
No.
Okay, and you better zip it all the way up this time. Zip it all the way up. Here we go. Take it all the way up. There you are. All right, there you. Now, select us a contestant. I'll check in with you a little bit later. That's
okay,
Rupert
Dave.
G, ladies and gentlemen. Going outside, we're playing What Did Merv Griffin Have for Lunch? Let's go back into Rupert G's because it's time to play What Did Merv Have for Lunch, Paul? Thank you very much, Rupert. I see you have a contestant there. Can you introduce this woman for us?
Yes, her name is Dawn Hunter.
Dawn, how do you do? Nice to see you.
Nice to meet you, Dave. Doing well.
Where are you from?
I am from the West Coast.
West Coast, and is there a state or a city you can mention?
I'm from Olympia, Washington, but I've been in Paris for a while, so I'm a bit new being back here.
Whoa, man, I'm telling you. Now, there's a story. Olympia, Washington, and you've been in Paris.
Yes.
In Paris studying, vacationing?
Living. It's a bit harsh over there. People are a bit tough.
Oh, is that right? How long are you living in Paris?
3 years.
And what did you do for a living?
I had a good situation there.
I'm sorry? You had a what?
She said she had a good situation.
You had a good situation there. Hey, Rupert, you can pick him, my friend. Wow. Hey, how about that? Well, and do you think one day you'll go back to Paris? Or?
I may, but I wouldn't want to have to live there again.
Mm-hmm. And where will you live now?
Here, in New York.
New York City. Well, good. We're happy to have you with us, Dawn. How long have you been in New York?
I've been here about a week.
About a week. Wow, so you really are kind of brand new back here, aren't you?
Kinda.
So in a way, it's reverse cultural shock, I guess.
The people here are so much nicer, I can't even tell you.
Is that right?
That is absolutely right.
Well, you ought to spend the day with me. Well, that's nice to hear and refreshing to hear, and we're happy to have you with us. Now, do you know how we play What Did Merv Griffin Have for Lunch?
No.
Okay. See those 3 entrees we have there? Rupert, describe each one of those and tell her what we have there.
Well, this one here is angel hair pasta with vegetables and buffalo meat.
Oh, my God.
And this is salad niçoise.
So that's, Dawn, that's right up your alley. That's French. That's salad niçoise.
C'est vrai, oui.
Does that ring a bell, Dawn? Did you ever have a salad niçoise Paris?
Yes, I did.
It's really kind of left bank, don't you think? So, rive gauche? Parlez-vous français?
Oui.
Oui? Yeah. Bonne chance?
Merci.
Enchanté.
And this?
Merci beaucoup. Je vous en prie. Je vous en prie.
Si vous voulez parler avec moi, c'est...
All right, regardez-vous. Now, on the phone, Rupert, have you finished running down the specials? You got the salad niçoise. What's that there?
This is seafood paella.
Okay, now punch up Merv Griffin. Dawn, the next voice you hear will be that of TV legend Merv Griffin. Hello, Merv.
Hey, David.
How are you?
I'm wonderful.
Do me a favor, say hello to Dawn Hunter. She's just back from Paris.
Hello, Dawn.
Hello, Merv.
Merv, have you ever spent any time in Paris?
A lot of time in Paris.
Yeah, well, Dawn just moved back from 3 years in Paris. She had a very good situation there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Are you trying to tell me that Dawn came up like thunder?
Well, you're breaking up, Merv. All right, so Dawn, you've seen the three entrees. Alan, what are we playing for tonight?
Dave, we're playing for a trip to the Pocono. Back to you, Dave.
Okay. All right. So now, Dawn, you can talk to Merv a little bit and try to determine what he had for lunch today. Was it a big lunch, Merv?
Oh, it was good size.
Hey, Merv, are you on the Atkins diet?
Well, I have been in the past, but I kind of got off it quickly.
I see.
That's a good question, though, Dawn. Very good.
Very good.
Yeah.
But I do adhere to some of his theories.
Now, Merv, did you have breakfast also?
Oh, sure.
And will you have a nice dinner tonight?
No, there's an afternoon snack in the middle.
And are you allergic to shellfish?
Pardon?
Are you allergic to shellfish?
Dear, I'm allergic to nothing.
Oh, but she's being very cagey.
Sugar and whipped cream are not my favorite.
Okay, now we're gonna put up the clock, start the clock, put it up and start it. There we go. You have 30 seconds.
I'm hitting the paella.
Paella. All right, stop the clock. Merv, did you have paella?
No.
Oh. All right. So we have 2 chances left to put up the clock and run the clock. And
So why didn't you ask me for some clues?
all right, we have left the salad niçoise and the pasta.
Pasta's not looking super. I'm going to go with the tuna.
All right, salad niçoise, Merv.
I don't know. Pardon me.
Merv, are you fully clothed?
I am, Dave.
No, I'm sorry.
But it's my first telephone appearance.
Merv, tell Dawn and the American viewing public what you had for lunch.
I had for lunch pasta with ground buffalo.
There you go. I'm sorry, Dawn. But you know, there are no losers when Merv Griffin has lunch. What do we have for him, ladies?
Wow, thanks, Dave.
Beautiful Rupert cheese. Hello, deli platter. Okay. Wow. Boy, that took forever. Did you think that? Think we were never going to get out of that?
Sometimes things take
longer my God, I guess so. Well, don't be discouraged by that. Drew Barrymore is here, and Jack Hanna will be right back with tonight's Top 10 list. Ladies and gentlemen, do me a favor, say hello to our good friend Biff Henderson. Come on in, Biff. There he is. How you doing, Biff?
Good, Dave.
Welcome to the show, Biff. Always a pleasure to have you on this side of the camera. Let me ask you a question, Biff. Will you be there when the big door swings open?
I'll be there.
What are you doing on the show tonight? Do you have a little thing for us?
Yes, I had the opportunity to go out on Merv Griffin's yacht.
Oh, Merv Griffin. Now, Merv Griffin, of course, is an enormous star. He's the man who invented Jeopardy and has had many, many hours of television of his own. And I used to be on his show, and he was great for all young comics just starting out. He would put them on the show, and it would be a great experience. And a very nice, entertaining fellow. Very wealthy. Merv's got a lot of dough.
Man.
Yeah. And he spent some of his money, and he bought him a big boat. Is that what he did?
He bought a big boat, man.
Now, this is not like one of them jet ski deals, right?
No, this thing is like 142 feet long.
142 feet long. Wow.
It's 4 stories.
Is that right? And where did Merv park the boat? Is it in town now?
No, it's I understand it's in Ireland now, but
in Ireland,
but I didn't go over there.
No.
I met him here down at the pier there.
So they sailed from here out the Hudson through the harbor and into the Atlantic across to Ireland.
They did.
And before they sail, you got a tour of Merv Griffin's yacht.
I sure did.
Well, that's tremendous.
It was wonderful.
All right, let's take a look. Here's Biff Henderson looking at Merv Griffin's yacht. Everybody.
Everybody's shoes off.
Uh-oh. Okay.
That's the first thing you do on a yacht. Take your shoes off.
I'm glad you told me that.
There's a staff member that just watches people's shoes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she's fired.
Sometimes Merv's tour was very detailed.
This has jet engines. Jet.
Other times, not so much.
Upstairs, I think there's a couch. I don't want to gossip on the yacht.
Well, don't do that.
She's supposed to have a big romance right now, but nobody can figure it out. She says she's not. He says she's not. Brad Pitt. You ever heard of Brad Pitt?
Yes. We're talking about Angelina Jolie.
Jolie.
Oh,
okay. Boy, you out of touch. Who am I?
Oh, I know who you are.
Okay.
Yeah, I know who you are.
Yeah, but you didn't say the name.
Merv Griffin. I mean, Merv Griffin.
Merv, yes. Biff spelled backwards is fib. Embargo spelled backwards is oh, grab me. Motel spelled backwards is let 'em.
I asked Merv about his role in the film, so this is love.
Yeah. First open mouth kiss in the movie.
What celebrities would you like to open mouth kiss today?
Oh, I think Jennifer Aniston is really cute. And I like Lisa Kudrow. Angelina Jolie, she has major lips, so that would be incredible suction.
Tell us a story about David Letterman.
About David?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I love the guy.
Except for one thing.
Oh, I saw him one night turn to the orchestra leader and say, "Is Merv Griffin alive or dead?" And I thought, how rude.
Paul, is Merv Griffin dead?
Right, you always say
that.
Yeah.
How often do you watch Letterman's show?
Often. About once a month. I love his, "You're fired." See, I wouldn't do that. I say, "You're fired," not, "You're fired." One of my guests fell down these with a cup of coffee the other day.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Barbara Walters, I've kissed.
Oh, really?
Oh, Barbara and I have kissed. Well, he looks good with a mustache, because when he shaves, it's like it's all strange white hair or something. Yeah. Yeah, I like him with a mustache. There's a little electric piano, which is wonderful, because when the guests come, I put a little glass there with some dollars in it, and I sing their requests if they want something. Or I play the Jeopardy theme a lot.
Let's sing it as a duet.
Nice job, Biff.
Thank you, Dave.
Biff Henderson, ladies and gentlemen, and Merv Griffin's yacht. Cedric the Entertainer, Dan Weldon, and the Black Eyed Peas. We'll be right back, everybody. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, the lovely and talented Paul Schaefer. Okay, there you go. I was 15 seconds of this. I thought that was. I thought that was when you would, but they changed it. I thought it would. Okay, fine, thank you. I was about to say, Merv Griffin passed away.
Isn't that a shame?
Oh, my God, what a terrible, that was awful.
Yeah.
What a great guy he was, and to all of us when we were kids out there in California trying to get on television and stuff, Merv would have all of the young comedians on. And
You did his show?
Oh, yeah, all the
Number
time.
of times.
Everybody did Merv's show,
Yeah.
and he was always very, very nice to us. He had no reason to be nice to us because we were just dopes.
Here on this show.
Well, on any show, he was always very nice.
Yeah, he was
back then is what I was talking
Right.
about.
But even here, we made fun of him. You know, it's such a great sport. Nothing bothered him.
That's right.
He was
In fact, I feel awful now because I used to joke about that. I would say, is Merv Griffin still alive?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now.
And he was then. You know, I wouldn't make that joke now.
Oh, no, of course you would.
But what a tremendous guy, and especially, and I just want to reemphasize that he was really, really nice to new performers and very, very generous, and terribly sorry to hear that Merv had passed away. That's a darn shame. How old was he?
No, he was in his 80s, 81 or 82.
81, 82, yeah, I like that. And had been on the show not that long ago, 2 or 3 years ago.
Really enjoyed life.
Yeah.
He referred to himself as a quatrisexual. He said,
Really?
I'll do anything with anybody for a quarter. That was what he used to say.
And they used that in his service?
Well, that's how he didn't care. Yeah, right on the tombstone. That's how much he, sense of humor that the man had.
Okay.